Sonia Sodha and Isabel Oakeshott. To the Financial Times, quickly, another paper we haven't seen, still talking about the difficulties of the deal. Just a final thought as we wrap up the idea of Brexit. The parliamentary vote looks extremely difficult, doesn't it, in terms of numbers? So what's your best bet on what will happen?
She can't get it through. I am convinced of that. I mean, there is just no way that the numbers add up. So, I mean, presumably she's going to try to bring it through. It will be a disaster. And then, honestly, who knows? I'm not even going to pretend I know. There are a number of scenarios, none of which look very good for anyone.
I completely agree with that. She's not getting it through unless, and I really can't see this happening, unless the Labour Party were to change its stance and to perhaps abstain. But I can't see them doing it. And their position at the moment is really quite nonsensical. They're saying they're going to vote down the deal and they want the general election. Well, what's that going to solve? I think we need to see the Labour Party once and for all getting behind a second referendum.
But she has promised, hasn't she, more detail on the future partnership, which will go first to the summit on November the 25th and then be presented to MP. So perhaps that might persuade them to vote with her.
I just don't think it can't. And, she's lost too many cohorts of people. It just doesn't stack up.
OK. Also on the front page of the Financial Times, another big story today, the latest on Jamal Khashoggi and the Saudi reaction to it. Quite extraordinary, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got this ludicrous situation where the Saudis have now carried out an investigation of their own. They found it's absolved the Crown Prince. Well, what a coincidence. Yes, absolutely. And they are now looking at going after 5 of the 11 suspects who are Saudi. And so you've just got this really awful situation where you feel like people who were probably acting with the say-so of the Crown Prince are going to be hung out to dry. They may well be executed. And nothing is really getting resolved here. And the international community is really pushing for this not to be a Saudi investigation led by Turkey. And hopefully that is very much what we will see.
And a final story in the Daily Mail. I'm afraid it's back to Brexit, isn't it? Business bosses back her deal as pragmatic and workable.
I mean, it doesn't particularly surprise me that business bosses, so-called business bosses, back the deal because the deal isn't actually going to change anything anytime soon. So it would suit them pretty well, actually. And for them, compared to a no deal, Theresa May's set of compromises looks more appealing. But I think also that doesn't represent all business bosses. It's very much the people that they are talking about in that article there are the big business people who benefit most from remaining in the EU. What about the smaller businesses, the vast majority of whom do no business whatsoever, no trade with the EU, and are nonetheless subject to all its rules and regulations?
Quick 10 seconds from you.
Huge uncertainty of a no-deal Brexit will affect all types of businesses, small and large.
OK. Plenty more at 11:30. We will see you then. Isabel and Sonia, thank you very much indeed. Let's take a look now at the weather.